Welcome to our training video on the art of loose leash walking using the J technique. Sarah and Pepper are going to describe the steps to have a proper loose leash during walking. First, we need to practice the loose leash and show the proper technique of holding the leash before we start the exercise. Sarah's going to demonstrate putting the leash through her thumb in her right hand and taking up any slack in the leash, and putting her clicker through her thumb and her forefinger in her right hand. Her treats will be on the left side of her body, so she can easily deliver those treats to the dog without reaching over her body. If you are left-handed, you're going to switch all this to your right hand, and your treats will be on your right side of your body instead of your left, and you'll be treating your dog going to the right side of your body instead of the left.
I messed that all up. We might redo.
Excellent. Let's move on to part one of the exercise. First, you're going to put your right hand near your navel area. You're going to click and treat your dog just having a J in the leash, and Sarah's showing that J in the leash right now, and just going to be clicking and treating during part one. During this exercise, you're going to deliver about 10 to 30 very small treats while the dog holds the leash in the J position. Next, we're going to move on to part two, which is to drift about the coned-in area on the video. Sarah will take one step back. As the dog moves, she's going to click and then deliver a treat. Always delivering that treat when the dog's moving and holding the J in the leash. You're going to practice this exercise for about 30 seconds to 1 minute. Next, we're going to move on to part three, which is adding the cue. Before Sarah moves back, she's going to say a cue such as "let's go" or "with me," and she's going to click and treat just like the drifting exercises from the previous shot.
Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
Good. Next, we are going to use the same techniques in part four, and we're going to add the cue. We're going to start with 1 step forward, and then we're going to add to 2 steps and then 3 steps.
Let's go.
The treat should come out at the stop out of the 1 step right there.
Let's go. Let's go.
The click does come in as the dog is moving.
Let's go.
Do a couple more.
Let's go. Let's go.
Good.
Let's go.
You're going to work yourselves up to 3 steps by doing this process.
Let's go.
Excellent.
Let's go. Let's go.
Next, Sarah is going to demonstrate without Pepper how to start the pivot forward with the exercise. First, she's going to pivot right with the dog, pivot left, pivot right, and then pivot right again, just to get the feeling of what motion she's going to be using for the exercise. Sarah, try that one more time. Pivot right, pivot left, pivot right, and pivot right again. All right, next she's going to try this exercise with Pepper, and then she's going to be using the cue as well and saying the cue "with me" as she does these steps. Good. Do that one more time.
Let's go.
Good. Pivot left. And you want to keep your dog on your left side with that.
Let's go.
And then pivot forward again. Good. Let's do it one more time.
Let's go.
Good.
Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
Good. Perfect. Excellent.